Skagway, Alaska. I'm just curious, why don't they use horses in the snow?
It's just a dog sledding sport. We've just focused on dogs. Yeah, I've never been asked that question.
Because in Europe, the harsh temperature, and people use horses out in snow too. Ăn thịt, ăn thịt. Ô, con nhỏ nhỏ quá. Dog team talking.
Exactly.
Oh.
She's a big one.
It's a great diet plan. You can eat anything you want and still lose weight.
Mỗi lần đi thi ông mất 10 tới 12 pound.
All right, time to release the hound.
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, oh. Dạ chơi. Oh, wow.
Okay, hey, can you guys hear me okay back there? Can you guys hear me? So folks, I did mention that the dogs are kind of jacked up. They're going to calm down here in a second. Come here, Jack. And as you can see, the dogs, they just kind of go around randomly. So Emma Rose, she's going to walk one around the leash in case anybody wants to pet a dog. Yeah, right. Now, I'm going to run through a little spiel, and I should start wearing an athletic supporter here. But I'm going to run through a spiel here and kind of talk about all the dogs. And first of all, can you guys notice how small and lean these dogs are? The reason why they're built this is, think about it. This is the canine version of an ultra marathon racer. And I always say you never see a sumo wrestler winning any marathons, right? And that's why the dogs, on average, they weigh about 50 pounds here. And all of the dogs that we have here, every single one is what we call an Alaskan Husky, okay? Which is not a recognized breed by any kennel club. So you will not see one in a dog show. What most people expect to find here are going to be Siberian Huskies, which of course the Siberian Husky is, the breed, the mask, the blue eyes, the fluffy coat. You will not see a Siberian Husky racing in the Iditarod competitively. And the reason is because since 1935, the Siberian Husky was actually recognized by the AKC, the American Kennel Club. And since that time, they're just bred for show. They're just bred for their looks. With these dogs, I think you guys can see, we could care less what they look like. The Alaskan Husky, and I mean this in the best possible way, is really just a fancy name for a mutt that pulls. And what I mean by that is, can you guys see like other breeds mixed in here? You know what mushers were doing many years ago, because we don't have any strict breed standard to adhere to? They were bringing in other working breeds to try to raise that level of athleticism. And maybe you guys can see some of these other breeds, like German Shepherd, Border Collie, Blue Heeler, German Short-Haired Pointer, Irish Setter, Golden Retriever, Lab, Saluki, Greyhound, and Chihuahua are all mixed in. I was just checking to see if you guys are paying attention. There's no Chihuahua in their bloodline. Although, wouldn't it be awesome if we hooked up 100 Chihuahuas to the sled.
Oh.
No, that would imagine
Next
putting little
race.
booties on them.
No.
As far as like the male to female ratio that we
Yeah.
got here, Emarosa, we got a
Situation.
yeah, we got to clean up on aisle two. Yeah, male, female, 50-50. It doesn't matter to us. You know, all the dogs have been blessed with this fantastic athletic ability. And when we make our selection for the team, you'll have mushers just the day before the race will actually just select the dogs, whoever is performing the best at that time. Like any athlete, they have ups and downs. They go into slumps. They get on hot streaks. And like 1 year on the Iditarod, I had 12 males and 4 females. Another year, I actually had 11 females and only 5 males. That year, all 5 boys that were on my team, they were all neutered. Because right before the race, I had 6 females come into full-blown heat, and it was the only way I could get down the trail. Guys, every single day here, we deal with dog drama. And we have to be careful out there. Now, that year, with those 6 girls in heat, I wasn't very popular with the other mushers, as you can imagine. It was actually a really good strategy, because nobody could pass me out there. But then, now, as far as the age of the dog is concerned, you know that these dogs, they can be competitive. From 2 years old, all the way up to 10 years old. Dogs have won the Iditarod at age 54. That's a very long career, and I told you about one of my dogs that finished the race 5 times. That's not uncommon. Dogs have finished the Iditarod 6, 7, 8 times in their career. And a lot of times we get painted with the same brush as greyhound racing, where you see dogs retiring at around 3 years old. But that's a sprint race. And a young dog is going to have a much higher top-end speed for that type of thing. With this, the dogs actually get better with age. They learn from their experiences out there on the trail. Like, they learn how to pace themselves. They take better care of their bodies. Muscle memory comes into play. And honestly, not unlike us humans, the older dogs are just going to be tougher mentally than the young ones. So, yeah, the older they get, the better they get. Now, when we have dogs that are retired when they're 11 or 12 or 13 years old, most mushers keep their retired dogs. And most of the retired dogs, because the retired ones, they're, number one, they're family members, but the other thing is we kind of need them. Like the pups that you're going to hold later on in the tour, in another 6 months, we're going to introduce them to harness. And then shortly thereafter, we put them in a team. Well, they all need a mentor. So we always run a young one next to an old one. That's how they learn. And when we train our young lead dogs, okay, we attach a short rope in between the collars of a young prospect leader and an old retired race leader, and we teach our dogs voice commands to steer. We say G to the right, haw to the left. G and haw. And that's why we don't have any dogs here named Gene or Haw. Otherwise, oh, man, that's like my favorite joke of the whole day. And then, so like, I'll go down the trail, and if I want to make a right-hand turn, I'm going to say G, and that old dog implements the command. Remember that young pup that's attached? They just get pushed or pulled around, but eventually they learn through association. So, and talking about lead dogs, everybody always asks, you know, if they come in here, well, which one's your lead dog? Guys, we have many leaders here, and as a rule, when I was racing, I would always start any race with at least half of the team would be lead dogs. And what we would do is we rotate the dogs around in that position based on their personality and what type of trail conditions there are. For example, some lead dogs will only perform well in lead on a hard-packed trail. Some lead dogs, if there's 6 or 8 inches of fresh snow and there's no discernible trail, there are lead dogs that are very proficient at finding the old trail underneath. They're really good at it, even if you can't see it, and they keep you on track. Some lead dogs are great in the wind, like Martina. I once had one lead dog. He was great in every single category. He was an awesome leader, except he was totally afraid of water. And true story, you cannot make this stuff up. That dog's name, Nemo. But anyway, dog mushing, it's all about management and where the dogs run and who they run next to. It's all very important. And we'll switch dogs around during a run just until all pistons are firing, basically. Okay. to this sled, and Emma Rose is going to, notice that some of them are not wearing their harnesses. She's going to put them back in the pens there. We'll probably hear some voices of discontent when we do that, but while she's doing that, I want to say this one thing. We start the Iditarod with 16 dogs. Not all the dogs that start the Iditarod will finish the Iditarod. Like, what happens if a dog gets sick or has a sore paw or maybe their wrist is bothering them? We're not going to continue to run the dog. What we do is we put the dog inside the sled, okay, and then we give them a ride to the next checkpoint. And then that's where we would officially then drop that dog from the race. When we drop a dog, all it means is we've got to sign a piece of paper, we hand the dog over to a veterinarian, and then they fly the dog back to Anchorage for us. Yeah, they go first class, they get all the free drinks, the hot water. But we're going to be down at dogs, so we can't replace dogs as we go. And a lot of times, especially towards the end of the race, I've done this a few times, and you'll see competitive mushers actually dropping dogs if there's a dog that's just a little bit slower than the rest of the team. Because you're only as fast as your slowest dog. So you can actually speed up with less dogs on your team. And it doesn't happen often, only a few times in Iditarod history, but Dallas Seavey in the 2016 Iditarod, he won the race with the bare minimum amount allowed of only 6 dogs on the team. And you know, we know this because of the GPS tracker, that with those 6 dogs, he was actually moving faster down the trail than teams that had 12, 13, 14 dogs on. Now, it's got to be the right 6 dogs, just like it's got to be the right 5 players on the basketball court in the NBA Finals, right? But with less dogs, you are going to be carrying less supplies, less dog food, less weight in the sled. And remember when I was telling you about all the care that goes into the dogs when we're stopped? You can dedicate more time to the individual dog and the dog care that's required. That your speed is a direct reflection on the quality of care that the dog is. And when I talk about speed, folks, we average 9 miles an hour. And there's a big difference between 8.8 miles an hour and 9.2 miles an hour. I know it doesn't seem like much, but over 1,000 miles, that really adds up. So, anyway, guys, I need a favor to ask the folks. During this next part, everything's going to happen in here. I'm going to try to get everybody underneath the canvas here. If I can ask the taller folks, if you look behind you in some of these places here, I call them witness stands. If I can have the taller folks hop up into there, and we can allow the shorter folks just to come on up to the rail, and we can get these guys to come on over. Right over here, there's usually some space. Emma Rose will help you out. Let's see here. Okay, there you go. So, how many of you guys have ever seen this before live and in person? So, okay, so you know what I mean when, I'm going to describe this, I guess. You're going to see a switch get flipped with these dogs. You know, you can see they've kind of calmed down a little bit while I was talking. And they're just kind of like any other dog. Well, when we hook them up to the sled here, there will be a switch. You'll see an elevated level of excitement. And, you know, it's not... My mom had a Cocker Spaniel when I was a kid. And anytime you grab the leash, that dog would start barking and going crazy because she just wanted to go on a walk. It's the same thing here, except we just have a fancy leash. And sometimes our walks are like 1,100 miles long. But other than that, you know, we're just... Now, one dog I want to point out is this guy, Apollo. So Apollo is, he's like the sweetest dog that we've got. I've actually seen this dog kiss babies before. And he's very mellow too. Like in fact, in his spare time, he actually likes long walks on the beach or maybe curling up next to the fire with a good book. But when I hook him up into the team here, you're going to see Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde here. So we'll get going. Okay, so here's how it's going to work, folks. I'm going to hook up the team. I'm going to launch out of here. At that point, folks on this side can head on up here, and then you guys can go over here once I leave. And I'm going to just stop quickly out here, and that'll give you guys a chance to move up and watch the rest of the run there. And I'll introduce all the dogs out there. We're going to get going, though, here and hook up these guys. Yeah. You'll see what I mean here in a second. And Rose, want to get some of these guys up this way here. So go ahead and get Fang up. Good, there you go. I know.
Yeah. Nó thích đi. Wow.
That's why they got to give it.
Wow. Nó hăng hái đi. Nó hăng hái đi. Kinh không? Kinh không? Very eager, huh? Wow.
Alright, at this good time, you guys come on up so you can see the rest of the run. And folks, I'm gonna introduce all the dogs here now that it's a little bit more quiet in there, but first, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Speakers. So, what you guys just witnessed, some of you for the first time, is the dogs, they don't look at this as work. This is playtime for them. This is a game, and this is not unlike a golden retriever that fetches or a border collie that herds sheep. It's what the dog's been bred to do for thousands of years, and they get a kick out of it. We run them around a short track because it's a northern breed dog. We'll do these tours. Sometimes some of these dogs on a busy day will run up to 6 times in a day. And they are a northern breed dog, and we've actually hit 92 degrees here this summer in Skagway. So we got to limit them to these short little bursts. And they're all lifting weights, okay? This is their off season, and they're developing valuable muscle, and their feet are getting very tough running on the surface. So let me introduce the dogs. We've got our 2 lead dogs. We've got the one that Emma Rose is holding. His name is Fang. He is 9 years old. He's finished 4 Idiots. Next to him is Yules. Yules is also about 8 years old. She's run many Idiots, and these guys have run with my good friend Matthew Baylor the last few years to race. The 2 that are behind is we've got Twisted Sister. She's the one closest to you. And then next to Twisted Sister, this blonde dog, her name is Keegan. Keegan was born on my living room floor 6 years ago. And she's run about 3 Iditarods now. And then these two next to each other, we got Lickety Split. She's the one closest to you. And then we have Cassie. Cassie is young. She's only a year old. So she's still kind of, this is a good way to race yet. This is a good way to train. And then we have Apollo. Apollo has not run the Iditarod yet, you know. And I think you guys can see why we have to run Apollo by himself. He's kind of a French fry short of a Happy Meal. And everybody's like, hey Matt, why don't you run Apollo and lead? Wouldn't he make a great lead dog? No, we tried that. Unguided missile. He actually did really good coming around here when he was in lead. He did good until he got to that point. And that's when he decided to lead the whole team down towards the Skagway River. So he's been back here in the remedial section ever since. Now you guys all heard of that term, mush or mush on?
Yes.
Nobody says that. That goes back to French-Canadian trappers way back in the day. And they wouldn't say mush on, but they would say mush on, which is like let's walk. But anymore, we say A-L-R-I-G-H-T to get the dogs to go.
Oh, wow. Hey, what? Oh, wow. Woo! Yeah. Oh, wow.
All right, guys, let's give the dogs a round of applause.
Yay!
Okay, so folks, I got thousands of miles on the dog sled, right? And right now I'm a little out of breath because I'll tell you what, this sled is not designed on gravel. And every time I do this, I get a pretty good adrenaline shot because if I were to fall, it would kind of hurt just a little bit here. We're gonna get all these guys put back into their pens where they can, pull off, get through the water. But before we do that, see Yoles up there? She's the black dog on my left. Remember when I was saying that the dogs, they get better with age, and every time they run Iditarod, because they get better, and because they learn how to pace themselves, and that's what we want, okay? Yoles has got thousands of miles, probably almost close to 20,000 miles on the odometer. And if you look at her, you can see she's like barely even panting right now. Okay, now direct your attention to Apollo. Okay, guys, so head on back underneath the awning here. We'll get these guys turned up. We'll get them unharnessed and back into their thing. That's it. Oh, and guys, too, at this time, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask us here as we get them back. Because the next thing that we're going to do is we're gonna show you guys the puppies that we have.
Why don't people use horses?
Oh, that's a good question. So he's asking about horses. So with horses, and you know, on some of the conditions that we go through, especially like punchy snow, the horse, they punch through the snow quite a bit. People have used horses, but it's not ideal. You know, these dogs, they don't punch through the snow. They stay on top of the snow.
Oh.
So, you know, they're just smaller. And they're built for those conditions, like for, you know, wintertime conditions. I mean, there are certain breeds of horses, honestly, that are, you know, good for that, but,
Oh, okay.
you know, to keep one horse is pretty expensive. To keep a bunch of dogs is still pretty expensive, but it just seems to, you know, they just seem to perform better in those kind of conditions.
And they live for what, 15 years?
Yeah, regular dogs, so like 12 to 16
So they were captured in the wild from wolves thousands of years ago, right?
They were bred in from like it started with more Malamute lions and Siberian Huskies, and then slowly mushers introduced other breeds to make them
Wow.
Like one
more
run
athletic.
isn't enough. But all these dogs, each one of these dogs, they'll actually do that same thing.
Muốn nói to to.
They're just enthusiastic. It'll be May when we start this. They will be at the end of this month here.
Any goats up in the mountains?
There's gold up in them hills. Actually, isn't
Buku,
it?
buku, huh? Buku, buku a lot.
Actually, in these hills, there's snow goats.
Oh, really? Behind those two trees, huh?
Yeah. On the other side of the mountains, that's where the gold is hiding.
Concave.
Ooh.
Thank you, matey.
Yeah, the restroom.
Alright, so these pups, folks, there's 9 in the litter. They're all in here. They're nursing still.
Oh.
There's 8 boys and only 1 girl. And so they're optimum cuteness right now. They're about 4 weeks.
Oh.
Alright, thank you guys so much for coming out. Okay, so folks, there's a lot more of you than there are puppies, so we do ask that you guys share. Don't hog the dog. One suggestion is, when you take the pup, just pet it a little bit, take a picture, and then pass them along. And if another one comes around, great, but try to get everybody a pup into everybody's hands. So I can take a couple here, up here. There we go. And I'll go all the way up here. And we're going to evenly distribute these guys, so.
Bé ái.
Uh-oh, hold on. This one's got to go pee. Hold on. I found that on Craigslist, paid $100 just for that joke. Thank you guys for laughing at that one. Yeah.
It's okay, sweetie. Don't be scared.
Oh, it's shivering.
Yes.
Scared or cold?
Could be scared, could be cold.
All the new faces. Huh?
Yeah.
All the new faces. It's okay.
Sort of like my rabbits.
So, it's okay.
These are how many months old?
No, they're only, I want to say, are we at 4 weeks now?
And
4
you guys,
weeks, not even a
Yeah,
month.
they're
really
pretty
good
young,
to
yeah.
socialize the pups like this. Yeah, you guys are helping us out a lot by socializing these pups like this. So. So, guys, the mom, she's in the house. Her name is Mindy, and she gets kind of nervous during this part, so we just keep her in there. We'll open up the door after you guys go, but then we return to pups. But the father is not here. The father to the pups actually is from Fairbanks, and he's up there, which is like 700 road miles from here. And it was a planned breeding. Okay, and we know it was a father. We just got back from the Maury Povich show, so it's verified. But you know, that son of a gun hasn't sent one child support payment.
Tauron. Oh.
You steal a chopper. She said that.
think they're trying to have an escape group over there.
Oh yeah, yeah. They like to dig them.
The Great Escape, eh?
What? No. Actually, I just put one. Usually, you gotta. I just put it away.
Yeah.
So the kids are 10 and 12, and you have all the plan in place to pick it back up.
Yeah.
What's in the hill? Canine apples. Oh wow! Got a dog here. That's a huge dog right there.
Yeah.
My goodness.
It looks warm though.
Seaward. Prince Seaward Islands. Bé Ái cái sờ được con chó không? Thì đứng xa có tới cố chụp mà chụp không được. Did you get to pet the puppies?
Remember, you got a black one and a white one.
Ooh. She's too far away. I couldn't take the picture.
Can you not zoom with the?
I can't. There's no zoom. There's no zoom.